Welcome to the session of Cost and Works Accounting. In today's session, we are going to study objectives, advantages and limitations of standard costing. I, Dr. S.R. Pagare from KG Somaiya College of Arts, Commerce and Science, Kopargaon, welcome you to this session. So let's begin with the session of standard costing. Let's start with advantages of standard costing. First, proper planning. It helps to apply the principle of management by exception. That is, the management need not worry over those activities which proceed in tandem plans. It is only on the issues of exceptions that they have to concentrate. Second, efficient cost control. Standard costing is a tool for the management to gain reduction in the cost and control over it. Under this technique, differences are analyzed and responsibilities are determined. Third, motivational factor. Labor efficiency is promoted and they are destined to be cost conscious. Standards provide incentives and motivation to work with greater effort. This increases efficiency and productivity. Fourth, comparison of forecasting and outcome. A target of efficiency is set for the employees and the cost consciousness is stimulated. Since the process of standard costing allows an appraisal to be made of personnel, machines and method of working, current inefficiencies come to the notice and get eliminated. Fifth, inventory control. Standard costing facilitates inventory control and simplifies inventory valuations. This ensures uniform pricing of stocks in the form of raw materials, work in progress and finished goods. Sixth, economical system. Standard costing system is economical system from the viewpoint that it does not require detailed records. It also does not require a big staff. It results in the reduction in paperwork in accounting and needs very few records. Thus, there is saving of time as well as money. 7. Helpful in budgeting. Budgets are prepared on the basis of standard costing. Standards which are set up in respect of materials, labor and overheads are helpful in preparing various budgets. For example, flexible budget, sales budget, etc. 8. Helps formulate policies. This technique is a valuable aid to the management in determining prices and formulating production policies. Standard costing equips cost estimates while planning the production of new products. 9. Helps distinguish activities. Standard costing helps in distinguishing between skilled and unskilled activities. So the skilled worker only pays attention to improving the activities of the unskilled workers. And 10. It eliminates wastages through fixing standards. Certain waste such as material wastage, idle time, lost machine hours, etc. are reduced. Now let's see the limitations of standard costing. First, costly system. Because the standard costing requires highly skillful and competent personnel, it becomes a costly system too. For the same, experts are paid high remuneration. Second, difficulties in fixation of standard. It is always difficult to determine precise standard cost in a given situation, which will coincide with actual cost when operations are over. Standard costs are determined partly by the past experience and partly by the cost projections based on advanced statistical techniques. Thus, uncertainties revolve around standards. Third, constraint for service industry. Standard costing is applied for planning and controlling manufacturing cost. Thus, it cannot be applied in a service industry. Fourth, consistency of standard. Because the standards of object marginal costing fluctuate and vary time to time, it is difficult to always sustain and continue the same standards. Fifth, unsuitable for non-standardized products. Standard costing is expensive and unsuitable for job manufacturing industries as they manufacture non-standardized products such as catering, tailoring, printing, etc. Sixth, relatively fixed standards. A business may not be able to keep standards up to date. In other words, a business may not revise standards to keep pace with the frequent changes in manufacturing conditions. Firms may avoid revising standards as it is a costly affair. And 7. Establishment of standards and their implementation involve initial high cost. Standards have to be revised and new standards to be fixed, involving larger cost. Thus, small firms find it expensive to operate standard costing system. This system is not fit for each type of industry. 8. Discouragement for workers. Sometimes the employees and workers are discouraged when the standards are fixed at a high level. The unreal high standards may adversely affect the morale of workers rather than working as an incentive for better efficiency. And 9. Inaccurate diverse results. Inaccurate and unrealizable standards cause misleading results and thus may not enjoy the confidence of the users of the system. Standard cost card. All such standards are recorded on a separate card which is termed as standard cost card. This card is prepared for each unit produced. It discloses the various operations through which the product passes. Standard cost card also shows the standard unit cost of a product. Maintenance of this card is an important aspect of standard costing technique. It serves as a valuable aid in the preparation of price list and formulation of production and pricing policies. Let's study variance analysis. The deviation between standard and actual is termed as deviation. Once the standard costs are determined, the actual cost can be compared with the standard cost to find out the deviations from the standard cost. When the actual cost is less than the standard cost, it is known as favorable variance. And when the actual cost is more than the standard cost, it is known as unfavorable variance. Favorable variance shows the efficiency of a firm, while unfavorable variance shows inefficiency of a firm. If only the variances are found, it does not help the management in any way. The analysis of the variances and their causes are more important. Variances are again divided into two categories: controllable variances and uncontrollable variances. The controllable variances are those which can be controlled by the management. Example, wastage of material, idle labor time, machine breakdown, etc. This is because all these costs can be controlled by the in charge of the department who is responsible. On the other hand, some costs are uncontrollable in nature, which have to be incurred due to external factors. For example, if the minimum wages are increased for the laborers by the government, the management cannot control these costs. Thus, the management gives more stress on controlling the controllable cost by analysis of the variances. There are basically three main variances: material, labor and overhead. Thus, the addition of all the three factors gives us the total cost variances. In next session, we shall study each variance in detail.